Good morning, afternoon, or evening, dear yogis here at our Echo Yoga. Thank you for being here today, for your presence, for being here for yourself, and for being with me here in Japan, in my little tiny village of Sagaiki. And konnichiwa, konnichiwa. So it's a little cozy today as I wear my sexy piano sweater. My friend called it that, and I think it's the greatest depiction of it. Today's practice is inspired by something that's been near and dear to me this week that I have been teaching a few lectures on and a few meditations on, which you can find on my Insight Timer profile as well. And the essence of this is the unconscious contracts that we vow to keep, that are subconscious, that are insidious, that are hidden in the darker recesses of the mind. And these unconscious contracts, they can be linked to what are called limiting beliefs, if you've ever worked with limiting beliefs before. But these beliefs that we have, that we aren't lovable, that we're not worthy, that we're not chosen, that we've been abandoned or we will be abandoned. And when that belief system becomes so ingrained in the developmental stages of our life, i.e. our childhood, or when we undergo great trauma and challenge, we can not only believe them, we know them concretely to be true. And maybe we know, like, I am not lovable, or I will always be poor. I will never have money. I'll always be in scarcity. People will always leave me. And it is such a truth, an inherent truth in us that we can't be convinced otherwise. And more than likely, when that is there is an unconscious contract bound and binding us to this belief. And so what's important to do is really sit with it and think, why does this make sense? Why does this belief make sense? And rooting back to the beginning of where that belief came from. And for me, that abandonment wound, that's a big one, and that comes from, I was left and I was abandoned and it was painful, but I've abandoned myself over and over and over as an adult because I wasn't aware of these unconscious contracts. And now I know that it protected me at some point. The protection was, I vow to not love and not to be loved because I know that people will leave. And it will be brutal and it will be painful. So I vow to not step into receiving love in order to protect myself from the pain that will inevitably come. And so once you sit with those contracts, you begin to have a conversation with the psyche, and you're like, no, you're safe. You're safe to love. You're safe to receive. You're safe to succeed. You're safe to feel good about yourself. And so today is about just caring for our little selves that have these stories in their mind that aren't our truest of truths, but believe so deeply that they are. So let's close our eyes. Let's come into a seat. Lengthen the spine, relax the eyes, and begin to relax the muscles in the forehead, muscles around the jaw. You can take some jaw circles. Come into the breath, equal inhalations and exhalations through the nostrils. And just sitting into stillness and silence. With that topic coming up, are there any vows that are coming up for you in your own mind? I start with, I echo vow to believe ... in order to ... So you can just sit in with really tuning into what are those unconscious contracts that keep you bound, and that at some point made a lot of sense. Me believing that people would always leave when they did, when I was young, made sense. It protected me from not getting too hurt by not giving too much of my heart. But at some point, at adults, We have to remind ourselves now in this moment, I am safe to receive. I am safe to love. I am safe to be good, to be successful, to be worthy, to be seen. Let's take an inhale, lengthen the arms up overhead. As you exhale, press the energy down through the palms, through the center. So palms facing down towards the earth and just drawing the energy down, grounding yourself here. Inhale, expanding the energy up. And exhale, grounding the energy down. Inhale, energy up. And exhale, energy down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Bring the hands onto the earth alongside you, palms down or fingertips down. Relax the shoulders and just tuning in, touching in with the solid ground beneath you. So maybe in this moment we feel stabilized, but in the moments of our greatest immobility, when our nervous system is completely numb or anxious, when that wound is being scratched, we can sit up tall, place the hands on the ground, and remind ourselves, I am safe here. Continue to breathe. And these words can play out in the mind. I am safe here. I am safe here. I am safe to feel. I'm safe to love. I am safe to be me. So remembering this for those moments when it's not so easy to push a button on a computer to do a yoga class with a random woman in Japan. But when we're alone, when we feel at our weakest, hands to the earth, deep breaths in and out of the nostrils. I am safe here to feel. I am safe here to feel. Let's take an inhale, lengthen the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center, bowing head to heart. I arrive here. I choose to be here. I am safe here. Slowly lift the head, open the eyes. And let's come onto the hands and knees, sitting back onto the heels. And let's take an inhale, pull at the front of the knees, open the heart space, look up. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, forward and open. Exhale, round in. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Gentle with yourself. Exhale, round. Bring the hands back behind you. Lift the knees, open the heart space, stretching the tops of the feet. And a lot of times when we are in that unconscious contract, when we're in that belief, it's so immobilizing, come up to seating, that we might just feel heavy in the body. The body slumps forward. There's sadness, there's anxiety in the mind. It's a good point to get into the body, sit up tall, let the breath move through the body, let it clean things out when you can't. When the mind can't clean things out, let the breath cleanse. Hands to the earth, tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. And sometimes we just need to move. And the last thing that we want to do in those moments is move, but we just move, pedal out the feet. And very slowly, doesn't have to be dynamic. It's just moment by moment we choose, okay, this belief is causing me suffering. I'm in my mind.
How can I get out of my mind and travel down to my heart, travel down to my body? Slowly walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Take your time. Toes can come up off the ground to get more length through the back line. Fold in. Let the head hang heavy, back line nice and long. The body stores so much emotion. This practice in general, just getting in the body is such good medicine to get out of the mind. To inhale, let's reach up, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Bring hands alongside the body. Keep the right hand on the right side. Lift the left arm up and over towards the right. Press the hips towards the left. Press down through the feet. Get nice and long through the left side body. Let's come back up through center. Left arm down, right arm stretching up and over. Nice and long through the right side body. Let's come back up through center. And you're going to step the left foot behind the right, deep bend in the right knee. Take a hold of the left wrist. So right knee is bent, left leg is standing behind. Take a hold of the left wrist, pull to the right and look to the left. Now pull the left knee behind the right. Let the arms come down like you're bowing. Bring the hands to the lower back, make a fist and curtsy in. So like you're curtsying to the nobility in you. Lengthen up, reach up. Other side, step the right foot behind the left. Take a hold of the right wrist. Deep bend in the left knee. Pull the arms over to the left, look to the right. Come back through center. Right knee behind the left. Bow down, hands to the lower back. Make that bind. Let the head drop in. And slowly come all the way back up. A little shake, a little bounce in the knees. And so it's good in our practices just to notice what comes up, like what we get distracted by. Our yoga practice gives us insight with what's happening between the body and the mind. So come into more stillness. So it will whisper to you what's important. Like, we need to go do this. We need to text this person. We need to do this. This person's on our mind. But stay here. Take the feet out wide towards the front and the back of the mat, like you're in a sumo wrestler position. Hands resting on the knees. We come into that goddess pose. Really open the knees up. Slight tucking in of the tailbone. Sink in nice and long through the spine. Strength through the legs by really pressing down through the feet and lifting through the pelvic floor. Some of us might just kind of fall into it, but really with integrity, be here nice and strong. This always reminds me of like the haka in New Zealand and the pride and the power in this call to like protecting ourselves. This call, like, I'm here, I'm in my body, I'm present. And I think of, the haka like warding off those unconscious contracts. I'm not going to do a haka. I respect the Kiwi and the New Zealand and the Aboriginal culture. It's such a beautiful display of self-love and power and pride. So let's bring the right shoulder into the center, look back over the left shoulder. So it's important to figure out what these beliefs are and to really work with them with such tenderness and not judgment, but why does this belief make sense? And how can I give my mind something else to think of so that it can nurture me instead of hurt me? Let's come back through center, left shoulder in. What could be more serving to me to believe? That I'm worthy, that I'm lovable, that I'm chosen, that I'm abundant. Come back through center. Pigeon toe the feet in and fold in. Let the head drop down. Your feet can be wide or they can be a little bit more narrow if you're super flexible. So for me, I come in a little bit more narrow so I can get my head down to the ground. Keep the spine long. Let the head drop down. Relax. Inhale, come up onto the hands. Keep the right hand planted. Lift the left arm up. Keep the hips square. Open the chest. Look to the left. Bring the left hand down. Let's do the right side. Right arm reaches up. Back down. Inhale, come up halfway, hands to the hips. Press into the feet, lift all the way up. And let's bend the left knee towards the front of the mat. Sink into the left knee. Keep the right leg nice and open, right hip open. Warrior two. So again, here we're not just hanging out and overextending. We're strengthening. So press through the left foot. Keep the hips nice and open. Strength through the legs. Really press down to the feet. Strengthen the shoulders. Integrity in the musculature of the body. So it's kind of like we're putting our shield on. We're not just hanging out. We're putting the shield on. And what are we protecting ourselves from? So what do you need to protect yourself from today? Yourself from yourself. Let's take an inhale, flip the left palm. Exhale, reverse. Look towards the right ankle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, left elbow down, right arm sweeping up, nice and open, side angle. Nice straight line through the right side body. Look up towards the right. Use the core, stay engaged. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring the right hand down. So we're coming into a side plank. Come onto the right foot. Left foot can stay opening and left foot down. Left arm reaching up for a modified side plank, or the left leg can come on top of the right. Can bend the left knee and lift it, or even take a hold of the left big toe and lift. So whatever variation of side plank that you want to do. Let's everyone bend the left knee, lift it up, and then set the left foot down behind you, left arm reaching forward into a wild thing. I have my songbook behind me and it's actually upside down as well. So I can see the lyrics to this song perfectly. Let's come back through center. Plank position. Press back. Downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up behind you. Step the right foot through. Reach the arms up. Warrior two. So nice and wide open. Ground down through the feet. Relax the shoulders. Flip the right palm. Reverse. Right forearm down on the right thigh, left arm stretching up and open, nice and long through the left side body. Slowly bring the left hand down, right hand down around the right foot. Side plank, so you can modify the right foot down, right arm reaching up, or right foot on top of the left. Bend the right knee and lift it. Or take a hold of the right big toe. Open up nice and wide. Wherever you're at, bend the right knee and lift it. Place the right foot down behind you. Press the hips up, right arm reaching back. And slowly back to center. Plank position, pause here. Top of a push-up. Pull the belly in. Slight rounding in the upper back. And press back, downward facing dog. Come down to the knees. Sink back onto the heels. And let's bring the hips over to the left side. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Paschimottanasana. It's going to take an inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, slowly fold forward. The moment that the spine begins to round, just keep the palms down. Keep the spine nice and long and stay there. Or you can slowly fold a little bit deeper. You relax in. So we're here for a few moments, minutes. And not pushing yourself to go deeper than you really can. Make sure the spine is as long as you can make it. We don't want to be rounding. If you need couch cushions here on the legs, if you have blocks, you can do that. I sometimes put my elbows on my shins and make a little fist. Rest my forehead here. Our practice is such a beautiful time of stillness, silence, breath-based movement to sit and observe what's happening in our mind. For many of us, we rarely even realize how unkind we are to ourselves and our mind until we really sit in silence and we hear what we say to ourselves. When we hear how we talk to ourselves in the world. Oh, that was stupid. You're dumb. Why'd you say that? Oh, you're no good anyway. Oh, you're not beautiful. Like these terrible things that we would say to no one else. So really getting very clear on how you're speaking to yourself. And replacing that internal language with something that is kinder, more loving, more parenting towards your little selves. Let's come back up. Hands behind you, fingers tracking forward. Bend the knees, plant the feet, lift the hips. Let the head drop back. Lift the hips up. Keep the knees tracking towards each other. Slowly sit the hips down. And a little bit of core before we end here. Hands alongside the knees. Really pull the belly in. Open the heart space. Stay lifted. And maybe lower just till you find a little bit of a shake or a tremble. And when it gets challenging, what do you say to yourself? What's happening? Let's pull in, take a hold of the shins, sit up nice and tall, let the head drop in. Stillness, silence, breath moving in and out of the nostrils. And very slowly take a hold of the shins and come down onto the back. Pull the knees in. Rocking from side to side, relaxing the spine, relaxing the neck. And cradling ourselves, just, again, coming back to connection to the earth beneath you. When we want to run away, when things get challenging, when we are beating ourselves up mentally, if we can do our best to just say, shh, not now. And we just come into our body, we come into our breath. Remind ourselves, I am safe here. Just take a hold of the bottoms of the feet, let the knees go wide, happy baby, rocking from side to side. Take the feet and place them down on the ground. Make sure they're hip width distance apart. Let the knees drop to the right. Goalpost the arms. Look to the left. Nice passive twist. back through center. Knees drop to the left, look to the right. Back through center. Starfish out. Take a mini shavasana, arms alongside the body. And in all cases, when things are not going as we'd like, just grounding the body by simply being on the earth. Maybe one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, eyes closed. And we'll just take a minute in stillness and silence here. I don't need to guide you, just guiding yourself, observing what is happening in the mind and body. How can you create more nurturance in yourself? Let's stretch the arms overhead. Nice and long. You can wiggle the body a little bit. Pull the knees into the chest, rock up to a seat, sitting up nice and tall. Eyes still shut down. Relax the hands on the knees. Relax the shoulders, muscles in the face. Let's bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly. Deep breath in, deep sigh out. And sometimes we can think these things, and they don't have as much power as when we say them aloud to ourselves. So I invite you, the things that you really need to hear, and maybe you don't believe them at all. Maybe you won't believe them for a long time, but the things you really wish somebody would say to you, you wish your mom or your dad would say, that your lover, your love interest, the unrequited. Sometimes it's just nice to hear the words said. So you can say whatever it is that you need to hear, and I'll say some in general that I know that I love to say and hear. I am worthy. I am good. And you can repeat after me if this feels good to you. I am good. I am a good person. I deserve love. I am loved. I am supported. I am important. My voice matters. I am lovable. I am worthy. Bring hands to heart center, bowing head to heart. And know that all the things that you need to hear, all the things you want to believe, you have the power to bring them into truth, make them your reality, make them your conscious contract. May you find grace with those inner recesses of the mind where the shadows live. Namaste.